Dance With Me dropped yesterday and I can't begin to express how excited I am for it and how much I loved it. This one was a little bit of a roller coaster. When they released the preview, I was like, that is where it's at. Blink is back stronger than ever. But then we got the lyric leak. I was just like, wait a second, like, what is going on here? I was a little bit worried about the Olays, to say the least. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how they were gonna incorporate it into the song. I had little faith, but the boys really came through. The song is super catchy and not in an annoying way. I've been playing it on repeat since it came out and I'm still not tired of it. I love Mark's part in the pre-chorus. I just feel like that's the kind of dynamic that really fits their voices well. I also love the chorus with the Olays and the way that it builds up to that last chorus where they change the Olays to lyrics. It really makes the song come full circle and just gives it a resolution. I also absolutely love the riff, but that was right off the bat when we heard the previews. I was like, this is great. And I was more scared that it was going to be a joke song because obviously of that statement that leads into the song. I was like, oh no, is this going to be like a 30-second short song, or is this going to be, well, what it is? But now let's talk about the music video. It was directed by the Malloy brothers, who also directed The Rock Show and First Date back in 2001 and The Adventure for Angels and Airwaves in 2006. The band has described the video as a love letter to the Ramones, with Tom playing a combination of Johnny and Joey Ramone, Mark Dee Dee Ramone, and Travis a combination of Tommy and Marky Ramone. We start off with them spoofing an interview on The Tomorrow Show that the Ramones did in 1981. You can see the interviewer is dressed the same, and of course they are rocking the looks from the Ramones. In that original interview, the interviewer tells the Ramones, "I loved your number, but I couldn't understand a word you said."
I loved your number, but I couldn't understand a word you said. Do you people
We don't sing words.
So they follow this kind of interviewer being judgy vibe, with of course the interviewer asking them about this statement that moves them towards the song, and saying that she's not only confused but also grossed out.
I'm confused and grossed out.
And then we cut into the start of the song. Upon a first watch, I was actually really looking in the background for like Easter eggs and generally feeling a little bit confused on what was going on. But actually, this is just them recreating the music video for I Wanna Be Sedated by the Ramones. Now, of course, I know the Ramones and I Wanna Be Sedated. I think that's one of their more popular songs as well. But I'd never seen the video, so that wasn't something that clicked for me when I was first watching the video. I'm sure a lot of people got it, but I was just not one of them. So I was really like nitpicking, like, oh, there's a construction worker there. Probably it's a reference to What's My Age Again, having a construction worker. But I think all in all, nothing in the background was actually intended as an Easter egg, except for the nurse wearing the blue latex glove that of course we see in Enema of the State. The video is of course not a frame-by-frame recreation of the Ramones video, but just inspired and following kind of the same hectic theme. Some noticeable differences were, for example, in the Ramones, they have this like blue blow-up doll that they pull out of the emergency cabinet, and in the Blink show, of course, they pull out like a blow-up sex doll. For a second, I did think that that could have been a reference to Quarantine, but I'm gonna assume that that is not what that was. Because I feel like if they were gonna throw Easter eggs around, that would be like the most random one to include. I feel like they probably just thought that was like more fun than doing like a random blow-up. Throughout the video, we have these intercuts where we see the band playing in different backgrounds that have been inspired by the Ramones. For example, they are seen behind a brick wall, which could be a reference to the Ramones' debut album. I loved the music video. It felt very 2000s Blink. And actually when Travis was teasing images from the shoot, I was thinking that it was going to be a continuation on the First Date music video, because I feel like the Ramones look was kind of resembling his look in that video. So I was hoping we were going to get like a continuation of like what happened to Boomers, stuff like that. That would have been really cool. But even though I'm not huge on the Ramones, I still thoroughly enjoyed this video just because of how nostalgic it felt. I feel like the comeback this time around feels really different than the previous comeback, and their dynamic just feels so much more in line to how it used to be when they were younger. The video comes to an end and we are back in the interview from the beginning. Tom tries to ask out the interviewer and he gets rejected. Then they get asked if there was something that they could say to the youth, what would it be? And Mark answers Gabba Gabba Hey.
Gabba Gabba Hey.
Which is the closing lyric for the Ramones song Pinhead. And you may have noticed that since the start of the world tour, they have been playing a combination of Pinhead, and I'm gonna say this wrong, okay? So don't judge, a combination of Pinhead and Blitzkrieg Bop before they start First Date. Now, I know that they have been doing the Blitzkrieg Bop from before the start of the world tour. I think that was something that they actually started with Matt. But the Pinhead stuff, I think, has been new for this tour. I think most Blink fans right now are just losing it because the song is so good, the video is so good, the album is so promising. I think we're all just so excited to hear it, and we already love it before we've even heard it. And it gets me thinking back to when 9 was about to come out and they had released the lead single Blame It On My Youth, and it was just completely different vibes. It was like the opposite. Like, people were not excited for the album. We were confused because the sound of Blame It On My Youth was so different. And of course, when 9 came out, I think people were more like relieved. The vibes back then were so negative, and right now I just feel like everyone is just so excited. And it's such a nice, refreshing thing to see, like, positivity in the Blink community. Anyway, I'm so happy for the new song, and it's just got me even more hyped up for the new album, which is now on Spotify, by the way. So not only could we see the track list, but we can see the duration of the songs. And through that, I was actually able to determine that we're only getting 2 joke songs, which is actually perfect. Because when I saw that the album had 17 songs, I was concerned that 7 of them were gonna be joke songs. It looks like only 2 of the songs will be joke songs. And that's gonna be, of course, We Knew, Turn This Off, and then also a song called Fuck Face. And of course, one of those songs is also an interlude, which is less than a minute and a half. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. And if you want to see more Blink content, make sure to stick around because we are definitely going to be going over the new album when it drops. And just a closing thought, in the music video, we see this guy holding up the sign that says text me, and I live in Europe, so I was like, I'm not gonna ever financially recover from doing that, so I'm not gonna do it. But my boyfriend did it anyway, and apparently nothing happened. So if you texted the number and you're in the US, let us know. Let us know what we're missing out on. All right, that's all for now. Bye.